Hey everybody, James with My Breed Supply and Love My Pups. I'm going to show you a really excellent progesterone machine that we have been using for quite a while now, about 5 months, and this thing is awesome. So here's what this is the machine itself, and I've got information on this on our website. The great thing about this machine is first off, you get test kits and a box, a little bit anyway. You get a box of test kits. It's $90 for a box of 10 tests, so it's $9 a test. And every time you get a new test kit, you get a calibration chip that comes with it, so it gets calibrated every time. You just put this chip in here. Put this chip in. Every time you use it, it is being calibrated to this particular chemistry that you've just got. All right. So the ingredients of this is there is a cassette. Here's the cassette, and that cassette you have to put plasma. So we're going to draw some blood here in a moment, and we're going to put a graduated amount of, let's come to the kit, a graduated amount of blood goes into a little mix tube. We mix that up with a graduated amount of plasma, put a graduated amount of that mixture back onto this little window here, slip it into the machine, and press a button. And wait 15 minutes and we get the results. It is that easy, and it's accurate. Okay, so the first order of the day is we have to have blood. So we're going to use sterilized products always when you're taking blood. You don't want to introduce any pathogens into your dog. So I have here a 1 ml needle and a 1 inch 22 gauge needle. It works great. New one every time. If you have to reuse a needle, it'll be blunt and a dog will not like you. Then we want a little bit of alcohol. Right now. Okay, here's our page. I'm going to swing around the table. We'll swap places here. All right, so this girl here, she is here, flew in from the East Coast to be bred. Now I need some glasses. So you need a tourniquet so that you can make the vein stand out. So my tourniquet is extremely simple. So that goes on above her elbow. And I like to do it like this because I can release it just by pulling it. She's a little bit nervous. And now this girl has pretty small veins. You can see where she got a stick from last time. And this is an experience thing, and I've got videos on specifically pulling blood. But what we're going to do here, if you're doing this for the first time, I'd recommend you shave this. Shave it and pour some alcohol on, and that way you can see the vein much better. But I'm going to do this by feel. And this video is really not about pulling blood. But anyway, here's my needle. So what I'm going to do is, there's the vein. I'm going to push the vein off to the side, and it makes the vein have tension on it so it doesn't roll out the way. Then I want to have the beveled tip up on the needle. And here we go. Just a slow, easy prick. Let's see how well I do. And you will see a flash. There it is. Don't get in a hurry. We don't need a lot of blood. About it's a mil on this syringe, but actually half a mil will get the job done. And I've actually jiggled around and lost the vein temporarily, so I'm just going to keep on pulling it back. It'll fill up with blood. There it goes. Here's my blood. Pull that. It's off. Pull that out. A little bit of pressure. Just take a look at it. Yes, just take a look at it. See how she looks. Stop bleeding right away. Not too much stress on her at all. Okay, so now we have the blood.
And you've warmed up the machine by turning it on and let it sit for about 15 minutes.
Yes, we'll talk about that for about 5 minutes is what it takes. Okay, so this blood now goes into a centrifuge tube. And on this, we sell these machines. They're $85. I cut off the little tip of this, otherwise it doesn't go in the tube very well. That goes in here, and we'll spin that down. Okay, a bit noisy, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to get ready for this. So, first thing is, we don't reuse this stuff, let's get it thrown away. So come around here to the machine for us. Thank you. So the way this works is, there's a little incubator inside here, and this machine wants to be at approximately 25 degrees, and so it takes a few minutes after you've turned it on for it to warm up and reach 25 degrees. You can do all kinds of things with this. You can track all of the progesterone tests that you've done. It will print out the results, it shows you the results, and it stores the results. There's two different kinds of tests. There's a standard test, which is what we're going to be doing. With a standard test, the moment that you put the blood into here, you immediately put it into the machine and press start the test, and it then takes 15 minutes before it reads the results. And that is an incubation period. However, if you want to do lots of tests at the same time, you can stack all of your tests up and do the 15 minutes on the table, and right at the 15-minute mark, come back over here, Russ, right at the 15-minute mark, you go to quick test mode. There's quick test. You put it in and you start the test immediately on quick test mode like that. So there's two ways you can do a test. You can wait the 15 minutes, the machine does it for you, or you can time the 15 minutes. Okay. Alright, very good. Okay. So...
How long do you usually keep it in the centrifuge?
Good question. So, just as long as you need to get a good separation. I mean, typically 3 or 4 minutes is enough. I don't think we've had that yet. Let's take a look at it. Let's answer that question.
So it's been in there maybe 3 minutes?
Yeah, probably. So, let's talk about this. This is a graduated pipette that comes with it. There's two positions. Position 1, position 2. This first notch here is 100 microliters. And that'll bring it up to about, it's 75 microliters. So we'll bring it up to about here on this. All right, get a fresh one of these every time. So pulling out our sample, we'll take a look at it, we'll see how it looks. And there we go, nice separation, really nice. So we'd like it to be clear, and it is really pretty clear, certainly clear enough for this test. All right, so here we go. So you don't go into the blood, you just go into first notch, let go, and I've got blood in there, so that's a fouled up test because I'm an idiot. I don't normally do that. Part of the problem here is I'm trying to show you on the camera and let myself see it at the same time. I'm making excuses up. You understand that, right? Do it again. First notch. I'm missing the whole thing.
You're too deep. There you go.
I didn't get a good pull.
So basically the apparatus, the sucker.
So what's happened here is this is gelled up a little bit. It's gelled. I didn't get the clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little stir. This is good information for you. I'm just going to give it a little stir, and I'm going to pop it back in here for about 30 seconds. And it'll kind of constitute everything and get everything separated out properly. So what sometimes happens is the blood, the serum wants to gel up, and you try to get some fluid in it, and it picks up a whole blob of stuff. And when that happens, just back off, stir it up a little bit to break up the gel, spin it again for about a minute, and it'll all pull up okay. Alright. So while we're doing that, this is the little mixture that we're going to put it into. Mustn't forget this step. So we're going to open that up. We're going to put that ready to go right here. That should probably be enough. Okay. More liquidy this time. Hopefully we'll have better results. And I'm just going to be trying to get this done now without mucking around.
Yeah, don't worry about me, Al.
I'm having a rough time today. It's still pretty jelly. See how jelly it looks? Part of my problem was I mucked up the good stuff on my first pull.
Would leaving it in the centrifuge make that any easier? Give
Yeah, it
you
might.
more depth?
We're just going to give it a mix up. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. So I didn't have a full sample when I pulled from the dog, and then I messed it up, put it some way. So I kind of made it a little bit difficult for myself. But hey, this is part of the real time. What we're really happy to do and stuff. You can run into little minor issues, and you just get past them.
Did that print something out that would be informative?
Yeah, that was a printout when I did a play test.
Would it be informative for the...
No, not really. meaningless. Alright, one more shot here. Not a lot of plasma in there. We finally got it. Okay. That then goes into my little mix thing. Just keep looking at that there for a second. I'm going to turn off the video quite That's the part that I'm missing. Alright.
And you throw away that end that you were using?
Yes. So they give you enough to do this twice for every one. Another of these on, so it's nice and clean. Stick that on here. Same process again. This has been stirred up. Don't want any bubbles in it. It'll be much easier to pull this fluid because it's nice and liquidy. And there it goes. There's the pull. Right, that then goes into the window carefully.
That used the same position when you sucked it up?
Yes, we'll talk about that here in a second. Here, same position, here it comes. There's the fluid going in there. And then what happens is that fluid then soaks up through here, and it has to have a 50-minute incubation. You can see the fluid starting to go through there. You don't have to worry about this. So now without too much mucking around, that goes into the machine. We want to do a regular test, hit start. That's it. Results in 15 minutes. The rest of this stuff is all junk now. This all gets thrown away. So we were asking about this. This is a graduated 75 microliter pipette, and there are two positions. Position 1, position 2. So what you do is you put it into the fluid. I use a number of ways you can do this, but the way I do this is I go down to the first notch, I put it into the fluid, I let go of the button, it sucks up the right graduated amount. And that's the simplest way to do it. I don't like to go in and press the button afterwards because it puts bubbles in your sample. So for me it's in the sample, press it down, in the sample, let it up.
And when you say notch, what you're meaning is...
You will feel some resistance. It's when you get one of these, you'll know right away. There's some resistance right here. There's the stop. Then you want to press it harder to go down. So there's two positions. There's basically two springs in it.
Really easy.
Very easy, yes, right. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is we're going to put these two pieces of video together because we don't want to sit here and watch paint dry. Just come in here quickly though, Russ. So here's the countdown going on. The nice thing is you can walk away from this because when it's finished the test, it will put the test result up here, it will store it in the history, and it will give me a printout. So I don't have to be here to catch the results exactly as they happen because it keeps them forever. Right, so we've pulled the blood, mixed it up with the chemicals, put it in the cassette, stuck it in the machine. 50 minutes is counting down. There's the 15 minutes. Here comes the actual physical test. And just going to put a number up on the screen, and there we see it. So there she is. She's at a 4.07, and here's it printed out too. So there she is at a 4.07, and that is a dog that has, typically we count ovulation something around a 5. So that dog is about a day away from ovulation, and about 2 days away from breeding for the first time. So there it is. Very, very simple. That is now stored in memory. Love this machine, being extremely accurate, great for doing reverse progesterones. Look for a level of less than 2.5. Safe to do a C-section, don't have to do any second guessing. Know you're going to be okay. Calibrates every time that you buy a new test kit. $90 for the test kit, so $9 a test. The machine's around $2,800. The centrifuge, if you don't have one, is $85. You're in business, ready to go. Save yourself money, save yourself time, save yourself the necessity to go to a vet where there are other sick dogs. Get control of your progesterone testing. Love this machine. Highly recommend it. If you do much of it, you think about investing in one. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.